नमस्कार, वेलकम टू दिनामी इकोनॉमी एंड इकोनॉमिक्स। इसके पहले हमने वीडियो में IS-LM कर्व के विषय में समझा था कि IS कर्व क्या होता है और LM कर्व क्या होता है। आज हम देखेंगे कि इस मॉडल में इक्विलिब्रियम कैसे डिसाइड होता है। पहले बताया था हमने कि केन्सियन सिस्टम जो है दैट इज इनडिटरमिनेट, या हिग्स हैंसन ने इनके ऑब्जेक्शन लगाया दैट like classical Keynesian system is also indeterminate. Why? Because in Keynesian system rate of interest depends upon demand for money, and demand for money depends upon income. Income depends upon investment, and investment itself depends upon rate of interest. So there is a kind of circular reasoning. IS-LM model is an attempt to simultaneously determine income and rate of interest, so that this circular reasoning can be broken down. How is it achieved is explained in this diagram. IS curve जो होता है वो goods market equilibrium show करता है, means every point on the IS curve will show that product market or goods market is in equilibrium. Similarly, LM curve shows that money market is in equilibrium. That is, every point on LM curve shows that money market is in equilibrium. Now, the point of intersection of LM and IS curve is E. This point is the point of intersection of IS curve as well as LM curve. It means that point E lies on IS curve as well as on LM curve. Since point E lies on IS curve, product market must be in equilibrium at point E. Since E point lies also on LM curve, so the money market should also be in equilibrium. That is, point E is the common point on both IS as well as LM curve. So at this point, money market and goods market both are in equilibrium, and this point of intersection gives us a unique combination of income and rate of interest. It means it is the income and the rate of interest at which both money market and goods market will be in equilibrium. This was not achieved in Keynesian system, which suffered from the deficiency of circular reasoning. तो IS-LM का इंटरसेक्शन पॉइंट इसलिए इक्विलिब्रियम पॉइंट होता है क्योंकि जो इंटरसेक्शन पॉइंट है वो IS कर्व पर भी पड़ता है और LM कर्व पर भी पड़ता है. Any point other than E will be the points of disequilibrium. It can be any point here, 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 or here, or anywhere, here, here. All these points will be the points of disequilibrium. IS-LM model is also called a general equilibrium model because this model establishes simultaneous equilibrium in two markets, money market as well as goods market. And any equilibrium is said to be general equilibrium if this ensures equilibrium in more than one market. Means if there is a multi-market equilibrium, then the model is said to be general equilibrium model. In IS-LM case, two markets are established in equilibrium, so this is a general equilibrium model. Now, how the system operates when there is disequilibrium, or how the adjustment process takes place when there is disequilibrium. This is explained in this diagram. See, in this diagram, this is the equilibrium point E. If we are at this point A, say, there is disequilibrium because the equilibrium point is this one. What is happening at A? At A point, since this point is on LM curve, so the money market is in equilibrium. But what is द कंडीशन इन गुड्स मार्केट, यहां क्या हो रहा है, इन गुड्स मार्केट पॉइंट ए इज बिलो द आईएस कर्व, और हमने पहले एक वीडियो में बताया है कि बिलो द आईएस कर्व देयर इज एक्सेस ऑफ एग्रीगेट डिमांड ओवर एग्रीगेट सप्लाई. व्हाट विल हैपन, सिंस at point A there is excess of aggregate demand, so the income must have tendency to increase. When income increases, demand for money also increases, and given the money supply, when demand for money increases, rate of interest also increases. So the adjustment process goes on, rate of interest increases and income also increases. The process continues till we reach this point where equilibrium is stopped or equilibrium is achieved. Similarly, if we are at any point other than A, like B, what is happening at B? At B point, we are at IS curve, means at point B there is product market equilibrium, but money market is not in equilibrium because this point is off the LM curve. What is the condition in money market? At point B, B point lies below the LM curve, और हमने पहले वीडियो में बताया है कि अगर कोई पॉइंट LM कर्व के नीचे होता है, उस स्थिति में डिमांड फॉर मनी इज ग्रेटर देन सप्लाई ऑफ मनी. सो एट पॉइंट बी प्रोडक्ट मार्केट इज इन इक्विलिब्रियम, बट मनी मार्केट इज नॉट इन इक्विलिब्रियम. In fact, in money market there is excess demand. What will be the impact? Impact will be that because of excess demand in money market, rate of interest will tend to increase. As rate of interest tends to increase, there will be reduction in investment, and through the multiplier process, reduction in investment will bring down level of income. So how the adjustment process goes on? In this case, the adjustment process goes on in such a way that rate of interest will increase, but income will decrease, and the process continues till we reach this point. So from this diagram we can explain how the adjustment process takes place when we are in condition of disequilibrium. यहां पर हमने ये चार पार्ट इसके ले लिए. आईएस और एलएम कर्व के ऑफ जो भी पॉइंट्स हैं उनमें क्या स्थितियां बन सकती हैं. ये स्थिति अगर इस क्वाड्रेंट में है, इन दिस कंडीशन डिमांड फॉर मनी इज ग्रेटर देन सप्लाई ऑफ मनी एंड एग्रीगेट डिमांड इज ग्रेटर देन एग्रीगेट सप्लाई. In this quadrant, aggregate demand is greater than aggregate supply, but demand for money is less than money supply. In this quadrant, demand for money is greater than money supply, but aggregate demand is less than aggregate supply. And in this quadrant, aggregate demand is less than aggregate supply, but demand for money is also less than supply of money. So these four conditions will generate different types of forces in money market and product market, so that even if there is disequilibrium, we will reach the equilibrium condition in this model. इस वीडियो में इतना ही. वीडियो पसंद आया हो तो लाइक करें, शेयर करें, सब्सक्राइब करें. वीडियो देखने के लिए आपका धन्यवाद.